In this video, you'll get a closer look at the 6th generation Bel Air, 1965 to 1970. Its origin, an overview, price range, and a whole lot more, so stay tuned. Chevrolet introduced the 6th generation in its line of Bel Airs in 1965. It had a different style than its previous generation, with a wheelbase that was increased to 5,420mm, 213.3 inches. The general features of the wheelbase were not altered, but the new models came with a new grille having a lower extension under the bumper in a V shape. The 6th gen Bel Airs were characterized by round rear lights and curved window glasses. The prominent GMB platform was retained in the new models, and the available body styles included a 2-door and 4-door sedan and a 4-wheel wagon. Unlike the preceding 5th gen Chevrolet Bel Air series, the interior design of the 6th gen models was entirely different. The new models also retained the standard 283 cubic inches engine with 195 horsepower capability. Some of the features of the 1965 6th gen models were the stainless steel belt, signature for identification on the rear fenders, rocker molding, and a glove compartment. The Bel Air 9-seater wagon came with a light and power tailgate, a feature separating them from the Biscayne. The predecessor of the 6th gen Bel Air was the 5th generation model. In the second year of the 6th gen series, the automobiles got a new facelift, including features like a revised grille, forward thrusting, and blunted front fenders. The Bel Airs also included double rectangular lamps with built-in backup lamps. The standard engine for the 1966 model year was the 250 cubic inches with 155 horsepower capability. But the 427 cubic inches V8 with around 425 horsepower capability was introduced. The 1967 model year came with a new body for the Bel Airs, with bulging rear fenders as a distinguishing feature. The 2-door and 4-door sedans and the 6- and 9-seater wagons were retained. The rear lights were now triple rather than dual as in the previous year, while the standard engines were retained. The 1968 models weren't much different from the previous year's models, although the wheelbase was stretched to 5,450mm, 214.7 inches. They also came with a new grille design, and although not seen before on the previous Bel Airs, rear lights were mounted on the car bumpers. The cars also featured shoulder belts and side marker lights. A new engine variant of 307 cubic inches V8 was introduced in addition to the standard 250 cubic inches V8. The 1969 models retained the 1965 interior, roof lines, and chassis, but at a different length, new body lines and fenders, and new back and front end. The wheelbase of cars would stretch to 5,590mm, 219.9 inches, whilst the wagons had a new wheelbase of 217.7 inches. The 1969 model year was the last year the 2-door sedan Bel Airs were produced, and the name of station wagons in the Bel Air series was changed to Townsman, marking the recommencement of separate nameplates on Chevrolet's station wagons. Chevrolet also brought back the 3-speed transmission, 4-speed transmission, the 3-speed turbo hydromatic automatic, and the 2-speed power glide automatic transmissions in 1969. There were only minor alterations to the 6th gen Chevrolet Bel Air series for the 1970 model year. The only notable change was the redesign of the front end. The 250 cubic inches engine remained a standard engine in 1970, while the standard V8 engine was a 350 cubic inches option with a 250 horsepower capability. Other engine variants of the 350 cubic inches V8 were able to produce 265 horsepower, 300 horsepower, and 350 horsepower respectively, with the top engine being a 454 cubic inches V8 having 345 horsepower capability. The 7th gen Bel Air succeeded the 6th gen Bel Air series. The interiors of the 1966 6th gen Bel Airs were characterized by vinyl and cloth trims on sedans, while the wagons only featured vinyl interiors. The 307 cubic inches V8 engine, introduced in 1968, powered the Bel Airs to run at a top speed capability of 105 miles per hour at cruising speed. The standard 250 cubic inches V8 powered the 1968 models to achieve 90 miles per hour at cruising speed. The total assembled units of the 1965 models were around 379,200. At the start of this video, I mentioned that we would be looking at all the major details of the 6th gen Chevrolet Bel Airs. So, let's find out how much these classic cars are sold. The 6th gen of Bel Airs were not particularly expensive cars. The 1965 Chevrolet Bel Air, for instance, was initially offered between $2,400 and $3,000. Currently, the 1965 models ranges between $6,600 and $10,010. The current price range for the 1966 models is between $17,400 and $22,900. The current average selling price of the 1967 Bel Air models is $25,581. But that's all for today, guys. I'm sure you loved this video, so hit the like button at the bottom and stay tuned for more classic car videos.